Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. EA is now given a fresh perspective on the brand new Evil Geniuses rumour. The full roster of 5 has supposedly been leaked last night, including none other than Ye, one of the greatest to ever do it in VALORANT technically, but has not had a very good past 24 months. Is that going to change a season? Ye says, oh no, the leakers are just guessing again, but is that really true based on the rumours over the last couple of weeks? Very much enjoying your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Nice little montage here from Zekken over these last few days. Plenty to get into as well. Durka, of course, excited for his new season on Vitality. And, well, there are some off-season tournaments happening. We saw that tournament yesterday in December where Fnatic and Leviathan are meant to be featured, among others. I think it's 12th to the 14th of December. That's going on out in the Pacific. This was a big confirmation, though, yesterday, as that Sayonara is joining Fnatic. Prodigy, Wonder Kid, Phenomenon, call him what you want. Now, this is pretty interesting. The rumour is that Sayonara is joining effectively for some off-season tournaments for, you know, the shorter term, rather than as a replacement to anyone on the starting team. But it's got to be said, in the same way that Redux is, well, he not trialed, but he played for Sentinels in like a brief tournament the other day when they needed him, like MXS or whatever, before they'd confirmed their full tournament, right? That kind of invitational one. They played that tournament with, impressively, Redux in that game, and then they signed him as their full-time sub, effectively. At least once he's 18, he'll be able to properly fulfill that role. So Fnatic, they, again, similar spots, haven't necessarily confirmed everything yet. We know that it's Kajak coming in for Durka and everything else is staying the same. But nonetheless, Sayonara coming into the team, obviously a very talented player, and is seemingly going to play some off-season tournaments with the team. I think that is the plan. That's the plan that's been rumoured for a little bit of time, is that he's going to come in potentially for Leo, right? And that's the rumour, isn't it? That Alpha, Chronicle, obviously, Durka's gone, Boaster's there, and now, of course, Kajak's going to be there. The rumour was, and now the confirmation straight up is, that Sayonara will join Fnatic for both the Berlin home grounds in Berlin this November, as well as Riot Games 1 in Tokyo in December, I think the other tournament that I mentioned, as Leo prepares for his return. So, yeah, their roster is going to be Chronicle, Alpha, Boaster, Kajak, and then Sayonara. No Leo. So it does concern me about Leo, right? Because obviously he stepped out during the end of the season, and obviously there were questions, okay, would he come back? When's he going to come back? When's he going to be healthy and ready to return? And the answer is not yet. And if not yet, then, you know, when, right? I mean, obviously the plan is for him to return for next year, and maybe he's not feeling healthy or well enough to travel to Berlin and then to Tokyo over the next couple of months. But if Sayonara really impresses, then how does that leave the rest of the team, right? Do they kick him out and bring Leo back? I mean, sure, Leo at times in the last 18 months has been the best player in the world, you could argue. But right now, that isn't the case. So what do you guys think? They are running as well another greatest game in the world tournament. I thought this is pretty cool. Tens, of course, is getting involved in this one as ever. Tens also saw the other day, or made the comment the other day on the map design, right? We saw this comment. It caused quite a lot of controversy in the scene whether Tens is correct or not, and it does seem like since he stepped away from competitive play, he's been somewhat more vocal with some of his opinions. But there was lots of reaction here, and actually Rian's followed up on this last night and said, like, I'm not Tens, so maybe Riot's not going to listen to me. But is Neon a little bit ridiculous, right? And we've seen this from Zest and from others saying that maybe the way that Neon is right now is too good, and I think you can absolutely make that argument, right? It's going to be a fascinating meta, assuming this stays the same, which it may not, for the new season. Chamber's getting some buffs, Neon's very strong. What does that mean for Ye and the Evil Geniuses team? I don't know. But just this clip here on the sunset when, well, Neon is going absolute full throttle, and I think the key talking point really around Neon right now is the sliding accuracy, right? The fact that you can take a shotgun, you can slide, and be accurate in all of these shots is probably something a little bit too strong. That is the argument anyway, that there isn't much counter to this. What are you really meant to do as an opposing player? Not much, I think, is the answer to something like this. I mean, okay, he did run through the smoke, but even that third kill is like, what are you meant to do in this position if you are the breach. I mean, good luck with that, right? I mean, like, yeah, nice one, I suppose. So, as Rian says, I'm not tens, right, is not going to listen to me, but there is no point in having this Neon sliding accuracy. The argument is, keep Neon as she is, maybe, but maybe make it so that the sliding accuracy with weapons is not as it presently is. Certainly with the shotguns, you could make the argument. There was also another big update today, or big bug that was noticed, where Jet's dash just, well, if you go into a smoke, basically, you're screwed. It just doesn't work. You can't also dash when you're in the smoke either. So, yeah, there's a big problem here right now, and they're trying to find a way to resolve it ASAP. So, I know that Sentinel's making a bit of a joke about it as well. If you try and dash from there, then all of a sudden, you can potentially have a bit of a problem. So, yeah, they're going to fix that one, I'm sure, in the reasonably near future. Let's talk Rostermania, though. So, we did get the rumor yesterday, now Alejandro says it himself, that Natan going to Leviathan is potentially going to be happening. So, yeah, we heard yesterday this was a rumor. Not exactly sure still where this rumor even came from, to be perfectly honest. But when Alejandro says it, that he's set to join, contract is set to be signed, this sounds like basically a done deal now. So, yeah, he's going to be your fifth man, and that, of course, means that Aspas is not going to be there at all, which therefore implies that maybe the MIBR rumor is going to be coming true, as we've seen, of course, start to emerge over these last few days. Giant X runner is supposedly going to stay with that team, so, you know, as ever, Alejandro dropping bombs on the timeline yesterday. But let's talk Evil Geniuses, because this was noted yesterday that Apoth on his social media, no banner, and he now says VALORANT free agent, right? So, of course, was on that Evil Geniuses roster last season, and now their roster is set to be rather different, featuring the return of an old friend of the North American VALORANT scene in none other than Ye. So, sources tell Purist, who's now back at the reporting game, Evil Geniuses are set to add ex-TSM member Sim, a player with a high ceiling, bit inconsistent, alongside that trio of Nature, Superman, and Derek. So Nature stays as the in-game leader, Superman and Derek, long-time duo that, look, their effectiveness at times is called into question, but nevertheless a solid couple of players for sure, and Sim with a high ceiling, in addition to former Cloud9 and Bleedstar. Pretty funny that they call him Cloud9 and Bleedstar, you know, there are other teams you could mention as well, for example Optic, for example Envy, like Ansbox or whatever, teams that he played on previously, but or DSG, of course, is the other example that for some reason I was missing there, right? What about Disguise? I mean, Disguise, Ye, obviously he was a star for them too, technically, but yes, C9 and Bleedstar Ye is also coming along as well. So what do you guys think about this? I know that Derek comes in the replies and says, man's just guessing. So it's always difficult, isn't it, when pros reply to these tweets and say that it's not true. Usually, if they're actually, like, emphatically not true, and the pro is like, I don't know where you've got that idea from, you've lost the plot, they will say something like I've just said, right? They will just say, I don't know what you're talking about, this is straight up fake news, right? Like, they'll be quite emphatic about it. Whenever they say something, oh, he's just guessing, more than likely there is at least some truth to this. If not, it's already a done deal. And even Ye was in the replies as well, saying, man's just guessing as well. So, you know, what do we think about this? Ye's obviously been hinting it as well the other day. I mean, he tweeted this out, feeling a little evil today, just a couple of days ago. So, yeah, that's the big rumor anyway, that Ye to Evil Geniuses is now basically a done deal. And you've got to think, alongside Nature, Superman, Derek, clearly a trio that Potter was very happy with on Evil Geniuses towards the end of last season, bringing in Sim and then bringing in Ye. You know, this is the chance for Ye to get redemption for what has been a very challenging couple of years in the VCT, going, of course, all around the world, and it's not necessarily gone to plan. This, of course, was the comment that Ye made in last season's off-season, right, when he said, I just want to effing play at this point, and implied that he'd play any role. The rumour is that he's possibly going to be on the Sentinel for the new, of course, Evil Geniuses roster, should he join there. I also was trying to find another clip, but I couldn't quite find it, from the previous off-season, I think in 2022, when, of course, franchising was just about to get underway. Ye was linked to a couple of teams. He was maybe linked to Sen, linked to 100T, and, of course, he eventually went to Cloud9, because those are the teams that are offering the serious money at the time. And he was asked the question in the chat, I remember a couple of years ago, like, hey, why not Evil Geniuses? And Ye was kind of laughing at that prospect, right? Because, and understandably, because at the time, maybe still true today, EG were not offering the type of money that those other teams that I mentioned were, although they were probably interested. Fast forward a couple of years, and now of all the options that Ye has, Evil Geniuses is probably the only realistic one. But is it still a good one? It's not bad, right? I mean, Potter is the coach over there. The roster they've got forming, I kind of like it on paper. Ye will be the star of the team. I think Potter can get a lot out of him. And you also got to understand, he wants to play the Sentinel probably. And the Chamber meta with the recent buffs is potentially coming back into play. So it could be the perfect time for Ye to step back into the scene. And it seems like Evil Genius is going to be the team to give him that opportunity. So very much interested to your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you guys believe Ye when he says, none of this is true? What are you guys talking about? Or is this actually legit? Because I think on the balance of probabilities, this is certainly the roster that I would expect to be seeing going into next season for Evil Geniuses. So hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.